We all love the VLOOKUP formula as it is so powerful. But we get kind of stuck when we have to look for data on the left side of lookup value. What do we do in such cases? Sometimes we start copying the key values to the first column. It works till we need to start searching on a different lookup value. Let's look at XLOOKUP, which helps us search on the left and also removes so many other limitations of VLOOKUP. Once you learn this formula, it is unlikely that you'll ever go back to VLOOKUP. There's so many things to learn in XLOOKUP, so we'll go step by step. So here's a simple data of top salespeople for an organization. We'll understand the basics of this formula first, before we look at finding the data on left. Now let's find out the name of the top salesperson for the year 2013. Let's write XLOOKUP. The first parameter is the same as VLOOKUP, it's called lookup value. We can select F2 here. Now in the second parameter, instead of providing the complete table, we only need to provide the lookup array, which means that we only need to provide the column where we can find the lookup value. Since the lookup value is a year, we will provide the lookup array A2 to A15. The next parameter is the return array. This is a huge improvement over VLOOKUP, as we had to provide the index of column which had the data we wanted. Now we need not count the index, instead we can just select the column which contains the data we want to return. So we will select B2 to B15. Rest of the parameters are optional. We will look at them shortly. I'll close the bracket and press enter. And I get the answer as Ravi Singh, which is correct. If I change the year to 2018, I get the answer as William Travis. Now before we explore the optional parameters, let's look at how to search data on left. What we have here is the name of the salesperson, Anita Joy. Our aim is to find out in which year was she the top salesperson. If you look at the main table, the names are given in column B and the year in column A. We can't find this out using VLOOKUP, but with XLOOKUP, we can do this easily. XLOOKUP, the lookup value is G2. The lookup array will be B2 to B15, as that's where we have all the names. Since we want to find out the year, the return array is the list of years, A2 to A15. We'll again ignore the optional parameters for now, close the bracket and press enter. We get the answer as 2021, which is correct. So you see, with XLOOKUP, it becomes so easy to find data on left. Alright, if you think this was useful, then wait till you see more cool things that XLOOKUP can do. Now let's say we want to get all the details for the year 2013. With VLOOKUP, we would need to write the formula multiple times, keeping in mind the changing column index number. But with XLOOKUP, we can get all the data by just writing the formula once. Let's see how. XLOOKUP, the lookup value will be F2. Lookup array will be A2 to A15. Now the next parameter is the return array. Since we need to return the values of top salesperson, units sold and the region, we can select all the three columns in one go. And that's all that we need to do. Close the bracket and press enter. We get all these details. No need for you to write the formula again or copy it in the other two cells. Powerful, isn't it? This is possible due to something called dynamic arrays. This is the best open secret of Microsoft Excel. You can find the link to those videos in the description below. We have so far been ignoring the optional parameters. Let's take a look at them. Now, without rewriting the entire formula, let's look at the first optional parameter. The first optional parameter is called if not found. This parameter is used to return a value in case we don't find the lookup value while searching it in the lookup array. So let's test what happens in case we don't have the correct year value. I will change the year to 201. We get the #n error. If I change the year back to 2013, we get the details. Now I'll provide a value incorrect year in double quotes for this optional parameter. Nothing changes as we have a valid year value in the cell F2. Now if we change 2013 to 201, we don't get the hash and error. Instead, we get the message incorrect here. This is such a simple way of handling the error. Now let's look at the next parameter, match mode. Here we have the partial name of a salesperson, Sean. Let's assume we are unsure of the full name. We need to find out the unit sold for Sean. So let's start by writing the XLOOKUP formula. Lookup value is G2, but G2 is not sufficient as it won't return any value. We know that there is more in front of Sean, so we will use a wildcard character star. Star signifies none, one, or more than one characters. So we are telling Excel that there is a second name after Sean, but we don't know how long it is. So the lookup value will be G2 and star in double quotes. Lookup array will be the list of names B2 to B15. Return array is C2 to C15 as we want the units sold. For if not found, I'm just going to provide a pair of double quotes for returning a blank value. Now to indicate to Excel that we've used a wildcard character, we will use the next optional parameter, match mode. You can see the list of options available. We will write 2 as 2 indicates that we've used a wildcard character. Close the bracket and press enter and we get the value as 29,500. So this is one use of match mode. Now, if you see that the unit sold displayed here is for the first occurrence of name Sean Stevens. This means that just like VLOOKUP, the XLOOKUP function also searches from top to bottom or first to last. However, XLOOKUP also has the flexibility to search from the bottom of the table or last to first. If we select that option, then we will get the value for units sold in 2020, which is 31,700. To do that, we will use the last parameter of XLOOKUP, which is called the search mode. Let's use the existing formula. As you can see, the first option is first to last. This is also the default option. If you don't provide a value for this parameter, XLOOKUP searches first to last. That is what it has been doing till now. But to search last to first, we need to write -1 as indicated here. As we write -1 and close the bracket, we get the value 31,700 as anticipated. But what if we want to look for units sold by Sean in the year 2016, which is neither the first nor the last occurrence of his name? That's easy. I have another video where you can use XLOOKUP using two lookup values. The link is in the description. Go ahead and check it out. You can also use the COUNTIFS and filter function. I will include the link to that video as well in the description below. So as you can see, XLOOKUP can do so many more things compared to VLOOKUP. I have completely stopped using VLOOKUP now. One more thing before I close this video. The V in VLOOKUP stands for vertical, which means the search of lookup value is vertical or in a column. There is a similar function called HLOOKUP. The H stands for horizontal, which means the search of lookup value is horizontal or in a row. What about XLOOKUP? Does it mean XLOOKUP searches both vertically and horizontally? Why don't you try it out and let me know in the comments below. Till next time.